All right, hi everybody. Let me get the right page. Excuse me. There we are. Hoping you're having a good day on a Monday. Um, just wanted to check in about last week and then talk lots of things happening this week for the next. Okay. So first, last week, thank you again for your engagement and your high quality posting. Um, really really great. Really happy to see that engagement. So I'm just about done scoring some of that stuff, so I will continue to work on that and the rest of it. But I wanted to say thank you for doing such a great job. A lot of you keeping up real well, so thank you. Um, I had a couple questions about the task stream. So, and why you got a 0. Well, the thing is that it's not worth any points. It's worth 0 points. So there's no points to give you. So that's why it kind of looks like, well, I did it, but I didn't get any points. Well, there are no points to assign. So I'm just glad a lot of you got that in there, and it's going to be really, really important at the end of our time together. You're going to need that task stream account. So, but don't think you got a 0 because you didn't do it, but you got a 0 because there wasn't any points attached. So that's that. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about communications plan. Hopefully you've got some good a good feeling about the communications and what it means. If those of you who saw my Remind 101 request, it was an announcement, I think. So these folks, thank you so much. So Remind 101 is an awesome, I guess, communication tool. I've got principals using Remind 101 in our district. I use it for my EDU 225 kids a lot of times, and I use it sometimes when I'm trying to work with groups and stuff. So it's a real simple program. I'd really encourage you to try and kind of check it out, or at least be sure and subscribe so that you can get some of my messages. So I will send out little reminders and stuff over the course of the next few weeks to the Remind 101 group. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you need to make sure you look at your the posting from the announcement from Module 3. It might be there. So anyways, thank you. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, as we transition, we're really getting into the crux of our course now. This week is really important, really, really important. This is the meat and potatoes of instructional technology and technology integration. So I really encourage you to do some high quality research here. We've got a couple of assignments that are within this group and this module, and I do want to modify the paper, and I hope it doesn't trip you up too much, but to be honest, the most important thing for you as pre-service teachers is to experience instructional technology, if you will. I really feel like you need to experience it. You can read about it and you can write papers about it, but you really need to do it. And so even though we're on an online class, and so that's one of the reasons I make myself available, is because when if I modify something or you don't understand something, I need you to make sure that you can contact me. But I'd really like to modify the assignment, so I'll show you what I'm talking about, and I'll post it to our where I post the video. Okay, I'll give you the steps of what we're doing, but basically, the first thing I modified is the forum. And I know everybody's kind of getting in there. So in the main forum, discussion question 1. And so, it's the way it's posted is what is meant by assistive technology. Well, I'm going to tell you, assistive technology is technology that's used for, you know, as helpful for people who need specific help. So it assists the learning process. You see it most commonly in, with special education classes. Kids who can't talk, they use sometimes a talking machine that helps them communicate. It's pretty amazing. Assistive technology is, some kids, they need an iPad because they learn differently, and that's the piece of technology that has been proven to assist them in some of their learning, in the way that they learn. So assistive technology is you'll see in a lot of special education and also regular ed, when kids need some different types of devices to learn. So you can do some research on it, but I mean, in a nutshell, that's what it is. We have an assistive technology coordinator in our school district. It's just one gal, and she works with the special education department, and her whole job is to meet with teachers and students and parents and get them devices that help them learn. So that's basically it. So now we know that. So what I want to do is I want to modify this assignment, and I've written the modification right here. And so many of you are probably doing this right now while I'm making this video. But basically, I want you to go to the Arizona K12center.org, azk12.org. You're going to scroll down to the matrix. I'll show you that in a second. You're going to look at the top row, and you're going to look down the sides. And then there's videos within each of the cells. And I want you to find and watch at least 5 videos. They're like a minute and 30 seconds maybe. So they're short. They're just giving you a snapshot. And then I want you to look down, and I'll show you here. Let me show you. I'll go to this site right now. Oh, for crying out loud. I hope that's not doing that to you. Let's see. azk12.org. And then slash, come on, slash Tim. Okay, it's coming. Here we go. All right, so what is the TIM? The TIM is the Technology Integration Matrix. This was a project that we did in Arizona, and we patterned it off of a Florida model. What it is, it's a matrix of cells. There's 25 cells right here. And there's a continuum across the top that are levels of technology integration. So it describes what the teacher looks like. So if you're an entry teacher, then you use technology to deliver curriculum, like as a presentation tool, say. You're giving content to the students. But as you go up the continuum, it goes adoption. So the teacher directs students in the conventional use of tool-based software. If such software is available, this level is recommended. So tool-based software. So that's like me saying in that DQ last week, do a Voki. Okay, you guys are going to do a Voki. So I told you what you're going to use it, and we're just going to use it, one way. So adaptation moves a little farther down, and the teacher encourages an adaptation of a tool by allowing the students to select. So, if I had that DQ this week, I might say, pretend I wanted to say, let's define assistive technology, but do it with, whatever tool you can feel like you want to use. So giving them, by allowing students to select a tool and then modify its use. So, letting you pick the tool and then making it fit the purpose, making it fit to that definition, doing it your way. Infusion is the teacher consistently, so this is you consistently provide technology tools in your classroom and for learning. And so it's not just Fantastic Fridays where you get to use the iPad cart on Fridays, but it's using and applying technology anywhere within the curriculum that makes sense to do so. And then transformation is where you're just completely blending choice. Students are developing their own content. They are project learning. They're learning through projects, through a driving question, and they are using technology to produce what they need to produce. So it's completely, transformation is completely infused throughout your whole classroom. So those are the levels, and depending on what your experience is, you may enter the teaching profession at one of these places. You may be an entry teacher. You may be really just comfortable giving presentations, which is awesome. That's a good place to start. You may also be kind of maybe adaptation, where you're kind of willing to let the students let them go, let them pick and decide how they want to show their learning. So I don't know, you'll know that. So I was involved with the project that created this, and my role was active. So I wrote these 10 active lesson plans, and I'm not in the videos. My friends are in the videos, but I wrote them. So down the side, you've got characteristics of the learning. So sometimes you have an active learning environment, or collaborative, or constructive, authentic, or goal-directed. And depending on the goal of the activity, you might be any one of these throughout the week. So the way the matrix works is there are, if you see here, there are 2 videos in each of the cells. So look, collaborative, let's see. So there's a K through 4 lesson and a 5 through 8 lesson. And so under authentic, let's see if that's going to open. There's a lessons, okay, the description of what that looks like, if it's authentic, and adaptation. And then there's lessons that go along with that. So let's go back up to the active. Let's look at this K through 4, if I'm active and on adaptation. So you click on the thing and you get this page where you've got the 1 minute or so video, and then you've got, this is the grade level and how the classroom might be configured. And
this lesson focuses on collecting and interpreting data, all while thinking about it.
And it's got the standards, it's got the Common Core standards connected, and the technology standards connected, and then what are the objectives of the lesson? Students are going to conduct a survey, and then how they go about doing it, and then what materials they would use, and that sort of thing. So I want you, for this first EQ, to go to this site, find 5 of these lessons, in your grade level band. Now, I know somebody wrote me a note that said, it's kind of hard to do because you just don't, maybe not know what grade level you're going to be at. I get that. But what do you want to be at? So pretend you really can see yourself as a real primary teacher. So find a K1-2 lesson. Pretend you want high school, but you don't really know, if you're going to have early high school or 12th grade or whatever. Fine. Just pick the high school. The 9 through 12 ones. Doesn't matter. I mean, the whole point is for you to, kind of try and imagine yourself in a classroom, and watching these videos and kind of imagining what that would look like in your room. Okay? So that is what, let me pop back over here. what you're supposed to do. So I want you to list which ones you've watched and then kind of tell me your reaction to them. And then give me a nice kind of a sum up about what you know, your reaction to what you saw, you know. So this is another source right here. It's on my site. In my school district, my teachers we look at the TIM several times a school year. And my teachers look at the top row. We're not really concerned with the side row for now, but we look at the top row, and I ask my teachers at my school district to pick one of these levels that they think they're at. So what I needed to do for them is I needed to give them information about what their classroom would look like. I mean, it's kind of hard. Just this little description doesn't say it all. So on this page, this link there that I have on our DQ, it says, what does this mean for students? So I just took all of the information and kind of put it all for all of these side learning environments, and at entry level, what this classroom would look like, what the students would be doing, or at infusion level. This is the things the students would be doing. They'd be choosing tools, they'd be collaborating, they'd be using flexible and seamless tools. In adaptation, they'd be having some choice. They've purposeful use of tools to plan and monitor. So anyways, this is what it would mean for a teacher. This is what you would be doing if you were a teacher and you were at adoption level. And each one of these is what each one of these learning environments. I have a little synopsis here. Kind of, if you were adoption, this is in general what your classroom would look like. Anyway, it's just another tool for you to look, hopefully have it make more sense. It might be more confusing, I don't know, but the whole point of this exercise is this is the module 4. We are on module 4, and we are doing instructional technology. And so instructional technology is something you need to have a chance to look at your practice and to look at educational technology trends and what's happening out there, and kind of see where you think you fall. Okay, so hopefully by watching some of the videos on the azk12.org/TIM site, you'll be able to have a better understanding of what technology integration means, and maybe even what's out there. I attached the kind of a print version of the matrix, but it's not clickable, so this is just kind of, it shows everything all open, so just in case you need it. Anyway, that's the first DQ. And so the second DQ I'm keeping the same, but the first DQ, make sure and click a reply instead of replying to somebody here. That way I can give you I'll have a space to put your points. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pause the video right here quick. Be right back. All right. So the next thing I want to talk to you then about is oh, now I have the spinner. There we go. I wanted to talk to you about, wait, hold on. There we go. Sorry. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the assignments for this week. We've got 2 assignments for this week. The first one is the WebQuest. That's the collaborative learning community. And so what I did is I took a map. I don't know if you can see that. And I figured out where you all lived. And so I tried to organize you in groups by region, so to speak. So that way your time zones will be the same. So you can look at your, at the CLC, it'll show you, or I don't know, maybe you can look in your forum and you'll see under your list of forums, you know, main forum, individual forum, question for the instructor, you should see one color, you know, white forum or whatever. Anyways, on your course material tab, if you look down here, let's see, right here, these 2 links are pretty good. Your job is to create a WebQuest. Now, a WebQuest is an online activity. Okay, um, it's something you're going to write to the students, like your audience is the students, and it's a lesson. And so, but not, it's not a lesson plan though. It's not like, okay, the student will blah blah blah. It's a lesson that they will actually do online. So I'm trying to open this up. So a web quest is made of, let me see, I don't want that one. Hyperrealism. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's made up of each of these sections. A web quest is has every web quest should have an introduction, a task, a process, an evaluation, conclusion, and credits, and a teacher page. So, you can go here and see if you can find some examples of web quests. Let's see, definitions. These are the things that a web quest does. It has an introduction, it has a task that's interesting. It gives, in the process, you give a real clear process on how they go about doing this investigation or this activity. And then there's always a rubric, and there's always kind of a closure, a sum up. And so it's really, really important. Do some research on what a web quest is. I mean, before you even start, it's really, really important. It's a little bit old technology, I would say, but if you really get, into it and decide on a topic that's interesting and relevant to you, I think you might enjoy making it. So, okay. So let's see. This one, webquest.org, is a great site, and here you can find web quests. So I'm going to click find, and then I believe it's, let's see, let me see, say I want to look for a math one. Let me just see if this works. None found. Okay, I think I'm in the wrong spot. I think it's the Quest Garden. Quest Garden database. This is what I was looking for. Okay, sorry. Quest Garden, right here. Search Quest Garden. And so, let's see. We want them in English. We want this here, this curriculum and guide matrix. This is what we're looking for. So now, again, let me look for math. Let me say 6th through 8th and search. It's thinking. So these are all pages and pages of math web quests for grades 6 through 8. Pretty awesome. They're not all stellar, but there are some good ones. Here's the most recent one. I haven't looked at this yet, but okay. Introduction. So this person, she has an introduction. You've graduated to the world of adulthood and you're ready to buy your home. Task. So after considering your budget, blah, blah, blah. Process. Okay, so she's got a worksheet connected, she's got floor plans, she's got directions to start designing. Okay, I don't know what the outcome is. What are they supposed to do? We'd have to read it. There's her evaluation and conclusions and credits. So anyway, that is a web quest. So you can look hundreds and hundreds of web quests on all these pages, and some real recent ones. And you can get a feel for what they are. So what we're going to do is we are going to be having a collaborative learning community, CLC, for this assignment. So I've got 5 groups, and I've got you split up. Like I said, you should be able to see it. And so here's the instructions, but really you're going to work together using your forum and coming up with, what you want for your CLC. So the first thing you'll want to do is, kind of visit with each other in the forum, decide on a team name, and let me know the name you want. Right now they're just colors, but see if you can find something that's common with you all. But the second thing I want you to do is kind of decide on a topic, like third grade science or 12th grade math, or I don't know, fractions or history of some sort. Excuse me, and then start building your WebQuest. So there's a couple different ways you can go. I like the site Zoonal.com. It's an easy site. It gives you good information. I'll put the links up there. You can make a Google site if you're into Google. It's okay. But I want to show you this piece, TitanPad. It's titanpad.com. And I'll put the link in on the page with my video. But this is a nice place to collaborate. So if 3 of you are going to be collaborating all in different areas of the states, then if you make a TitanPad, it gives you this particular URL right there. And so someone make the TitanPad and then share this in your forum with me and with your teammates. And what happens is it's a great collaborative space, because if we're all on this at the same time, then we can see each other and each other's typing. It's really cool. But the neatest thing is the chat. And so we can be, together and talking, but not on the phone or anything. And so, or if I'm in here, I'm a late night person and I'm going to do my pieces and I have some questions, I can post them to the chat. And tomorrow you're going to be in there because you're a morning person. Then we can keep our conversation, in one place. It's really neat. So this seems to, for me and for my students, this seems easier to do it this way than in the forum. But you've got to put the link in here so I can see. I'll pop in and help you out. Okay? But it would be a good idea to start here, and it's really, I know the directions say that you need to split up and everybody do a different page. You really can't do that. It's really not fair, because process is huge. That's the biggest page. And you can't do the evaluation. Pretend I choose, I'll do the evaluation and conclusion. I can't do that until the process is done or the task is done. So you really have to collaborate on all of it. I mean, I'm just going to say, don't divvy it up. It's not a PowerPoint. Don't divvy it up. You really have to collaborate about, okay, what are we going to do? Let's find some resources for the task. Okay, let's decide. Okay, let's figure out the process. Okay, here are some great resources. Well, here are some more. You can collaborate and post everything on here, and then you can hone it down into one thing. So, I mean, that's just my suggestion. The most cohesive ones are the ones that the people really work closely together. Those are the best ones I've seen. Okay, so I'll post this in my page. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you about is the other assignment. I'm going to change up that assignment, and I have it right here. I'm going to post it. And instead of writing the paper, I would really, really like to see you make a presentation. I'm trying to move my document over. Got the spinner of death right there. So I don't know if you know what a raft is, but it's stuck. A raft is it's an acronym, RAFT. So role, audience, format, and topic. So I've got a raft here, and you can pick one row. You don't have to do all of this, but you can pick one row. Do your research on, instructional technology. And I've got some links for you right here. And a couple of places for you to take a look, okay? And And then the assignment is you can either do this row, or you can do this row, or this row, or this row. So maybe you're going to do row number 2. You're pretending you're a student and you're talking to your mom and dad. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a glogster. It's a glog, explaining how the teacher lets you use technology to learn. So you're going to pretend like you're a student, and you're going to, with your research, you're going to explain all the different technologies that your teacher uses. Okay, so you're taking on that role, and you're researching a lot of different technology pieces, methodologies, and then you're going to make a glog about it. So research what glogsters are, and I'll get you the code. Don't pay for it. I have a teacher account. Maybe you're a teacher talking to the parents on parent night, and you are going to be talking about how you incorporate educational technology into your own lesson plans. So, and I'd like you to try and use a Prezi.com. That's a free site as well. Don't pay. Or maybe you're a teacher and you're talking to your fellow teachers, like your colleagues, and you're going to develop a conversation with 2 characters that are talking to each other, and you're sharing them ideas on how to get started. So there's a site called GoAnimate. It's so fun. It's where you type in a conversation and the avatars talk to each other. Okay, kind of like Voki, except for you can have more than one character and they can talk to each other back and forth. It's really cool. I have a teacher account, so if you want to do that, then just let me know. I'll give you the teacher code. Finally, maybe you're a visual person and you like to, put things together on a visual mat. So pretend you're a teacher and you want to make a resource for your whole school community. And you're going to create a engaging diagram of all the ways you integrate technology into the school. So you're going to make what's called an infographic. I don't know if you know what an infographic is, but do some research on what it is. Infographic. And I have an account with Piktochart, and so I'll give you the login for that if you want to make that. So Prezi is on your own. You can sign up for an account for that. Glogster and GoAnimate. I have teacher accounts, so I'll give you a code for one of those. Just let me know. And then Piktochart is an infographic. So every presentation down here has to include innovative technologies, what you've researched, kind of maybe add somewhere in there about pros and cons, because that's in the rubric for the paper. You're looking at what are some pros and some cons about instructional technology, or so I don't know where you can fit that in, but see if you can somewhere, like, okay, my teacher watches out for this, or I don't know. You'll have to research what pros and cons there are for instructional technology and see how you can weave them in. And then wireless technology, how wireless technology plays a role in your classroom. So when you're finished, you just are going to, do a heading on your sheet and just give me a few sentences about what you created, which row you took, and then just give me the link to the presentation. You don't have to then write the paper. Okay? So really, really, but I do want to have your references. So make sure on the paper you hand in, you've got references, okay, of where you got your information. But you don't have to do citing on there or anything, because, that you don't have to do that. So that is kind of the change up for Module 4 assignment. And, it's due Sunday, but, if you choose to go this route and you get stuck or hung up, or I didn't get to the code in time or whatever, or it took you a couple days to decide, then I will give you a soft, push out of a deadline. So I'll give you an extension on that if you need it. Okay, so I will post this up on our page. So this has gotten real long, and I'm sorry, but I just wish I could see all of you. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate your hard work. and I can see you're working hard, and I can see you're thinking and how you're developing, you know, some really awesome understanding about instructional technology and what it's going to mean to you as a teacher. So this is a real critical. This week and next week are very, very critical in terms of what it's going to look like in your classroom. So take your time and remember that I want you to understand what's happening and what you're researching and everything. So if you have any questions or you get stuck or frustrated, just give me a message in the individual form and I'll address it as soon as I can, or text me. People have been texting me today, so I appreciate that. I love texting. All right, I think that's about it. So I'll try and post everything in the area on the announcement. I think that's it. Okay, thanks. Have a great night.